You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes per detail.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB the CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadow in it.
Mike Ryan is playing hurt today. Something has gone wrong, short-circuiting his voice box. But we are going to carry today, the next 3.5 hours, pressing the gas on maximum morning energy. And the place that we're going to do it, because I don't have a lot of precedent for this. This is such a big game that Roy Bellamy is wearing a Dolphin cap on game day.
You're lucky I'm not wearing my jersey.
I can't believe. Why would I be lucky that you're not wearing your jersey? Do you think
I'll be ultimate Dolphin fan.
The Bellamy jersey.
The idea that Roy thinks that today is such a big game that he decided to go into his closet and grab a Dolphin cap, and that it would symbolize to anyone who walks the streets around him today. Maybe they want to arrest him because he's black. Maybe they think he's extra angry because sometimes he's moody and sullen and didn't like the sandwiches in the morning. But today he's wearing a hat that is orange and black and signifies to me the height of fandom. You are wearing not necessarily your team colors, but you are daring to be a proud Dolphin fan today.
You're goddamn right, Dan.
I can't believe it.
So, Dan, as he went into his closet and grabbed his Dolphins hat, he's also wearing a Heat sweater, getting ready for that, too. We got that going in a couple months.
Well, the Heat sweater's always on because he's proud of being. This is the thing I think people need to understand is Roy wears his allegiances on his clothing. Dolphins don't get worn that much. That hat looks awfully new. That hat looks like it hasn't been worn a lot. I don't know how many beaten Dolphin hats. That Bellamy hockey jersey, sick of it. Been sick of it for 10 years. Smells bad. It smells like 10 years of hockey arenas. This hat, how often do you wear this hat?
Not often. In fact, I believe I have 3 Dolphin caps, and one of them's white. And that's basically black now.
So he went into his closet and grabbed that, and then you went to the Fidel Castro line, all olive, like you're about to take over some sort of war-torn country.
Like Jason Tatum.
What happened today?
Don't like that Castro green.
You don't like the colors I'm wearing?
It's just you're not wearing colors. You're wearing color.
Not in this town.
So you guys think I'm giving off communism right now?
Dan, you said it, not me.
That's what it's called at Home Depot, communism green.
Okay, so you guys believe that what I am presently wearing not only doesn't give off a Dolphin celebration today, but gives off a lack of freedom. That I went into my closet and what I chose today is basically political imprisonment.
That's what it feels like. That's what you're giving off. The vibe you're giving off is, hey, we've got laws here and you got to follow them.
He's endorsing Kamala.
Yeah. All right, well, help me fix that, would you? Thank you.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
The time is now.
This is the Fake Pregame Show. with Dan Lebatard.
Aren't sports supposed to be fun?
And not Stugotz.
Whew, your call today. Your call.
Fake pregame show.
Let me tell you this. Ted Ginn is a
retired football player.
Fake pregame show.
Ted Ginn.
I was jacked up when I saw that.
Hey, we need that thumb to go this direction.
Now everybody,
Fail forward fast.
have you heard?
Fake pregame show.
If you're in the game,
Ted Ginn.
This is the Fake pregame show.
We drafted the Ginn family.
Kickoff is
Just over 11 hours
away, but the Fake pregame show begins now.
Ted Ginn and his family will give us everything they have.
Fake pregame show.
Fail forward fast.
Knocking fools out, Stugotz. Knocking fools out.
Hey, we need that thumb to go this direction.
I was jacked up when I saw that.
Thank you very much.
Shannon Sharpe, huh?
Unk.
The controversies got so much better at ESPN after we were gone. I've never done what I'm presently doing before. I don't just mean on air wearing a Dolphin cap. This is the first time in my life I've ever worn a Dolphin cap.
How's it feel?
You look good, dude.
Well, you accused me of looking like communism during the Shadow Show.
I mean, you did. A pocket square would have gone a long way. Whatever you do, don't wear the same color hat. But now that you're wearing a Dolphin hat, you look like an up-and-coming defensive coordinator in Kyle Shanahan's staff. I think just based off of your look right now, you might get a Rooney Rule interview.
Can we figure out a way to have me have a take that gets aggregated today when I, in the future, claim that I'm not a homer or that I'm impartial or that I'm objective, and
With
this
have
this be a photo that gets into the internet stream where it's always used of me. I've never done this before. I'm talking about as a child. I didn't have. I had a Yankee hard helmet as a child. All the childhood pictures were not of Dolphin stuff.
Even before you were a journalist, you aspired to objectivity?
Put ice cream in that helmet?
I was, no, that was a different kind of helmet. I did eat ice cream out of those helmets as well.
The full-size one.
Magic Shell. Yes, of course. Yes. I'd go to Fort Lauderdale spring training, and I'd get Oscar Gamble's helmet. Not just a normal helmet, but one that had a giant afro in it. That's right. And I would eat ice cream out of it. But today is a certifiable, I can't believe I'm saying this, giant football game, week 2, on a Thursday. All of us, I don't think you guys are ready for this. I don't think you guys are ready to be the only thing talked about on television tomorrow, win or lose. But all the conversation is going to go to where it's been the last 2 years if you lose this game. If the Bills come in here again and do it when they don't actually need it, and the only time you beat them down here was when you put them on the hot sidelines and you fried them all during the game, and then you made Josh Allen throw the ball 700. The whole game plan was make him throw it 700 times until his arm is so tired on 4th down at the end of the game that he has nothing left. Stephon Diggs told us as tired as he's ever been.
He's never seen a locker room look like that. That's one of the greatest regular season Dolphins games of all time. It's an all-time game.
The Patriots made this division excellent and uninteresting for 20 years. All of the teams used Ryan Fitzpatrick and thought he was the answer to topple Tom Brady. It's just the best quarterback that I would give you of all of those teams that were playing against them are in the game tonight. The best Dolphin quarterback going after Tom Brady, he plays tonight. The best Bills quarterback that there was going after Tom Brady, he will be playing tonight. That division has stunk, and now this is the fight on the top of it. We all know that Patriots thing doesn't mean anything. They beat the Bengals, and they'll try to win all their games that way, and God help Jacoby Brissett when Patriot fans who are spoiled and expect to win start seeing that that's going to be the bottom of the division. The Jets are interesting. I don't know what they're going to get, but I don't think most people think of them, even though I believe that Aaron Rodgers, by simply being a capable quarterback, will make them worthy of competing with the Bills or the Dolphins. Most people think, no, on the Jets. And most people still think, no, on the Dolphins. You change it if you do something tonight, though. You change the feeling. Chris Cody's been talking all offseason. Different Tua. Beat Josh Allen. Look, did you guys see the numbers over the last... I understand that people think of Tua, that they think of him as just somebody who's a product of the system and he's got a lot of help, and look at Josh Allen and say, no, that's a better quarterback. But last 30 starts, passing yards, Tua's got 700 more yards than Josh Allen. TD to interception, Tua's got 54, Allen's got 56 on touchdowns. Tua's got 22 interceptions, Allen's got 29 interceptions. Completion percentage, Tua's better. Passer rating, Tua's 10 points better. I don't think Tua's the better quarterback. I add to Josh Allen here the ability to run, but Josh Allen also fumbles a ton.
Yeah, so does Tua, though.
Not as much as Josh Allen.
But an abnormal amount. But yeah, Josh Allen running is what he's kind of all about.
The point I'm making is that most people listening to this do not put Tua in Josh Allen's class. That's just Tuanon that does that. But if I just show you the numbers over the last 30 starts, he is in Josh Allen's class. That's not up for dispute. In fact, the numbers are better.
I'm not going to lie. I thought the Tua numbers would have been a little better as far as interceptions. I thought that Josh Allen's been way more reckless, but that makes me, I don't know how I feel about that now.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen over the last few weeks, dating back to last regular season, kind of seems like a different quarterback. And you could certifiably say that the Dolphins have way more talent on the offensive side of the ball than Buffalo has. They just have this quarterback that's super dynamic, that can make things happen. And he won them a game with his legs last week, a game that they would have lost otherwise, a game that, throwing-wise, he wasn't all that impressive yet again.
Josh Allen's 10-2 against the Dolphins, okay? Just understand that the Bills are this division's daddy for the last 5 years, which makes them the Dolphins' daddy for the last 5 years. Josh Allen has no fear coming in here. Last season, the season collapsed on the Dolphins, losing at home against Tennessee. And then they allowed the opening. It was all there for the Dolphins to take last year for a number of different reasons. The very top of the division, not having to go to Kansas City in the cold, having a totally different story to the start of this season than the one that they had. It fell apart against Tennessee, and then Josh Allen had the opening he needed to make it 10-2. He had been 9-2 to make it 10-2 on the road against the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't have any real empirical reasons to believe that they are better than this football team. For the last 4 years, they have not been.
Going back to the Cam Newton situation of game manager versus game breaker, Dan, one of the things that you didn't mention, obviously, was the rushing yards and rushing touchdowns that Josh Allen has over Tua. But did you know that Josh Allen has more career rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey? Or, more career rushing touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey.
Damn, almost.
Well, I mean, rushing touchdowns. He's got 50. He's got 55 versus McCaffrey's 52.
You've had trouble lately. Just the reading of facts has been a problem for you lately, Tony. If that's the lane you want to choose.
But he corrected himself, though.
Yeah, he did. But we all reacted to, what do you mean he's got more rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey?
Rushing touchdowns.
Yep. But Tony,
that's more impressive.
It's not more impressive, Tony. It's not. I don't believe that the audience would. You don't think it's more impressive to shock the audience than saying that Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey is not as impressive as saying, or shocking as saying, he's got more rushing yards. I'm going to go look and see how much it is. Hold on. It's got to be twice or three times as much.
I don't know.
Would you say today is a massive game, a hard to find ticket, tough ticket to get? Yeah.
Well, not if you have Game Time.
Oh, Dano! Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Hey, if you're listening and in town, maybe you're a Bills fan or you're a Dolphin fan, and you've never used Game Time before, now is a perfect time. And use promo code Dan for $20 off. You get panoramic seat views, low price guaranteed, unmatched customer service. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. What time is it, Chris Cody?
Game time!
Christian McCaffrey, 6,185 career rushing yards. Josh Allen, 3,650 career rushing yards.
In the neighborhood.
Close.
more rushing touchdowns, Dan.
Okay, wait a minute, though. Is that the same neighborhood? Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Is 6,000 plus yards and 3,000 plus yards, are those in the neighborhood?
Not even in the county yet.
I'm not sure they're in the same state. It's twice as much. It's not. We're
talking about thousands. Both sides were thousands, right? We're not in the tens of thousands for one, and not in the tens of thousands for the other.
But the difference between them is also thousands, though.
This is Tallahassee and Miami.
Same state, but barely. It's a shame because it takes away from what actually was a really good stat. That is very interesting that Josh Allen has more touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey on the ground.
It was one word. My bad. One word.
Tone, what was the one that haunted you for the whole week because you got it wrong last week? What was it? You had
I think it was the Dallas Cowboys, and there was a ton of numbers on the screen, as you were about to mention. There was a spreadsheet of numbers, more numbers than anybody's ever had on a page before in their lives, by the way. And I was trying to read it, but it was
the most numbers.
The Dallas Cowboys had 0 wins since the playoffs of 1995, but they had 5 wins, but
playoff
0
wins.
past the divisional.
So instead, you said 0, it was 5.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Both single digits.
Roy,
Yes.
yeah, same neighborhood. Roy, I want to hear more about this hat that you're wearing. I do look like an offensive coordinator.
Defensive.
Yeah, you're more Patricia.
You're a defensive guy. Girthy.
Well, it's our
offensive line coach.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Are defensive coordinators thicker than offensive coordinators? I don't know what you guys are doing there. You're making all of them physically like Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinators. You're making them slight like Ken Dorsey. You're making them they're made of wire hangers.
Demure.
Hey DraftKings fans, are you ready to elevate your game day snacking experience? This college football season, we're feeling the cheesiest with Cheez-It. That's right, delicious Cheez-It crackers not only satisfy your snack cravings for game day excitement, but they're also amplifying your football watching experience with a new daily fantasy sports game. Best of all, since Cheez-Its is made with 100% real cheese, the game is 100% free to play with a chance of winning real cash. Be sure to carefully select your favorite Cheez-It flavor to snack on. White cheddar, extra toasty, or maybe you're an OG fan, while you select your weekly players for college football's cheesiest challenge all season long. So snack and play like a champ with Cheez-It.
Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com/Cheez-It for full details.
Dan Le Batard.
All right, we got to go back out there. That was big. Wake him up.
He doesn't want to be bothered anymore. Now it's getting tense because he didn't need that as a result. He needs something that happens.
You can see him mother effing.
No, he says,
"Can we bother? Are we bothering you right now?
Turn on your microphone, Greg."
My microphone's on.
Stugotz.
Paint the scene.
Paint the scene is I got to go to work. Good night.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
How did you guys enjoy?
I don't think that's what it means.
Before we get back to the game, I just want to know how much you guys enjoyed after the debate was over, because we've welcomed a whole lot more people into the political tent and the division tent. I could not help but laugh that the result did not go a certain way by blowout and virtually consensus. And the reaction of the losing side was to blame the refs and to call it rigged. Like, I couldn't believe to see it be a sports result where it can't be our candidate didn't perform well or their candidate did perform well. It immediately became about the moderators cheated and everyone cheated. Everyone was cheating. It's fixed. It's rigged. I can't believe it became a sporting event.
Everyone had their theories that we have a Spygate situation in which a pearl earring might have had a speaker, which was my favorite theory of the entire time, because how else would Kamala be able to prepare for questions on abortion and the economy? Who could have seen these questions coming?
How could she have possibly looked and sounded so good and Trump sounded so bad? It must have been the moderators. It must have been rigged. I feel like it's the refs. It's what we do in sports when we just don't like the result, and there has to be a reason other than our team's not good enough.
Zebra's got to stay out of it.
It became about the moderators fact checking. I honestly, the idea, this is a conversation I've had with too many friends over the last couple of years. If I'm holding this up, what the conversation has become around all our divisions, and I've got a pen in my hand, and I'm holding it up, and I'm telling you it's a pen, and on the other side, you're looking at it and telling me, no, that's a fork. And that's where we're going to keep having the conversation on how it is that we see facts. Facts. I'm not talking about opinions. I'm not talking about, it's not like they didn't warn us at the beginning, alternate facts. I'm talking about facts, an agreed upon truth.
This is a weird pregame show.
It's a fake pregame show.
Well, you got a point there.
I'm wearing
You're
a dolphin
doing a postgame
cap.
show
I'm
right
wearing
now.
a dolphin cap, and I was legitimately amused by the idea that it was rigged and it was the refs. That it's just the dumb analysis of sports talk radio.
Ron Cherry.
The Dolphins are going into tonight, and you know I don't believe in statement games. I don't believe in must-win, certainly not in week 2. I don't believe that this is going to come down to anything at the end other than how healthy is the healthiest team. And the Dolphins and the Bills, what I will say on behalf of the Dolphins, even though Josh Allen has beaten them the last couple of years, whatever the gap was, has been closed enough to make Dolphin fans hope that they have a team that can be better than Buffalo. Buffalo is weaker. They've lost pieces on that defense that matter. Their pass rush is still very good. And
Rousseau's been unbelievable.
I am still, this is the greatest respect that I can give going into this football game tonight is that I fear that they're not good enough to be as good as Josh Allen because Josh Allen scares me. I fear hoping or believing or expecting something from the Dolphins because it's 3rd and 6 and nobody's open and he's run for 23 yards. And inventing something because Jalen Phillips somehow isn't big and strong enough to actually get him down because you can hit him and not get him down. And if anyone hits Tua tonight, he's going down.
You just said you don't believe in statement games, but then you described everything that it's early in the season. You're scared of Josh Allen. You have all this playoff stuff lingering. You can't beat good teams. The Dolphins come out tonight and look good. That's a statement.
Because nothing that happened in week 2 last year matters and is memorable in a way that echoes into game 17 in the playoffs.
But this team specifically, the Dolphins, the confidence that they can get with, holy shit, we just beat a playoff team. I think that this...
They don't lack confidence. You believe the Dolphins lack confidence against the Bills as close as the games have been the last couple of years?
I just think the Dolphins have to look in the mirror and say, guys, we've been really good against bad teams, and against the good teams, it's not been that good. So, whether they actually... I think that they think that they can beat all these good teams, but they just haven't. So until they do, there has to be pressure building to beat these good teams.
Chris, Tyreek Hill has never had more than 82 yards against the Bills, okay? There hasn't been a great deal of difference between these teams the last 2 years. The difference between them last year was a Tennessee loss by Miami that would have finished the Bills in the division.
That was our fault.
Yeah, that Tyreek Hill set is as a Miami Dolphin.
Yeah, of course. But that's what matters here on Thursday night is these two teams play. It's the fact that Tua has started and finished 6 games against the Dolphins, and he averages around 240 yards in those against the Bills. Yeah. I apologize. And he's thrown 6 touchdowns and 7 picks, where Josh Allen, 10-2 against the Dolphins, he averages over 300 yards per game. He averages 50 yards on the ground. It's unbelievable the fact that he has 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's like these two guys are polar opposites against each other.
Why do we all root against each other?
It doesn't even matter what he said after he messed up. I wasn't listening. I didn't care.
I got to be honest here, and I'm delighted that this just happened.
Odd workspace.
And I'll tell you, yes, it is. It is a terribly odd workspace. I will agree with that.
I'm trying to build you up, man.
It's also super honest. This is what media is across this nation. I guarantee you, if Laura Rutledge stumbles, Greeny fist pumps.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. If Laura Rutledge stumbles, does Greeny fist pump? I don't think that's what it is everywhere in the world. But Jeremy, this is what you just reminded me of, and it just brought me a really wonderful delight.
Chris Whittingham is a fancy lad.
Wow, thank you.
Not since Whittingham have I seen such delight at broadcaster man stumbling around here who prides himself on being polished broadcaster man. Like, people stumble around here and it's enjoyed by others, but you specifically stumbling when you are sideline reporter guy, and Tony wants to be the opposite of that. Tony does not. Look at him. Look how happy Tony is because yes, you placed the expectations for yourself in an impossible spot. Now, when you fail, it means more than when others fail because now we expect you to be perfect, and that puts pressure on you that I don't believe you're as ready for as Whittingham.
I was born and bred for this, Dano.
Okay.
I'm not going to front. I'm rooting for your professional demise.
I know.
Well,
it's already been happening for the last year.
Whittingham had a little more experience coming into the room than you did, and he would choke on the pressure of everyone enjoying. Oh, there's pressure on Whitty here. Whitty's calling Premier League games, and I'm telling you, he's been more scared in this room reading because everybody's looking at him, waiting for him to stumble on a word.
Champions League, fine. And Serie A.
Sorry, he hasn't
and the
done,
championship.
Yeah,
He hasn't. They don't have the rights to the Premier League.
Right.
But he's going to be calling a World
giant
Cup.
games.
Yeah, I don't want to call him a kid anymore. That grown ass man is going to be calling World Cup. He better be.
I'm sidelined for Heat Wizards. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's the same shit.
Then the games Whittingham's calling?
Yeah.
Champions League semi.
2 finished games against the Dolphins. Idiot.
I miss Whittingham specifically because of moments where he thought he was maximum professional broadcaster and you guys would undercut him, because I've never seen him scared in any other circumstances broadcasting. He's got a preternatural confidence. Like when he was doing University of Miami games as a teenager on college radio, all of us were like, holy shit, that's too good to be a college broadcaster. And I think he may not be scared anymore anywhere than just doing some DraftKings read because you guys were watching him and he could feel your hot breath on his neck.
Lording over him, rooting for his demise. Yes, that's what it's like here. It's kill or be killed.
Yeah. I used to have confidence too, but that's been crushed.
It is a weird environment. Bill Lawrence was in here the other day, and he was talking. I remember when he had a writer's room type of meeting with Roy, Jess, and some others, and he was just talking about the different kinds of writer's rooms there are. There's Mike Schur's that is very gentle and loving, and then there's the cutthroat one where people are competing with each other all the time. And he's like, the competitive one produces better work, but less happiness. When everyone in the room is rooting for someone else to have a joke that's less good versus everyone in the room celebrating someone else's joke that's better than theirs.
Can you imagine how boring that would be? Oh, good job, Jeremy. You read a stat right.
Our writer's room is, oh, that's a terrible joke. Yeah, say that. Say that. That'll go over terribly, and you'll get sent to the penalty box. This will be awesome.
I'm going to the Reddit right now, controlling F, Jeremy.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Roy?
Yes?
I need to know publicly and officially, as I'm wearing a Dolphin cap, I don't believe anyone will find internet proof of this photograph existing anywhere in my history or the internet's history, me wearing a Dolphin cap.
Never seen you with one.
And I'm not wearing it. This explanation is going to get lost, but I'm not wearing it because I'm rooting for the Dolphins today or because I'm putting down my alleged objectivity. I'm wearing it because Tony and Mike accused me of being a communist and wearing communist garb and looking like I was wearing camo. And then the video department, I don't know if you guys saw this. This is what I need in my morning. They created an AI communist Dan for everybody's perusal here because now we're just playing with AI.
You see the green that we're talking about there?
A little gray in the beard, though. It's got to darken the beard.
Yeah,
got to darken the beard a little bit.
Roy, I need an official word from you on how excited you are about this game this evening.
I'm enthused.
Hey, y'all, it's Mike, and as you know, it is football season, the all-consuming football season. You live it, you breathe it. and you want to watch it as much as possible, both on your TV, but also sometimes you want to be a part of that atmosphere. But guess what? You don't have tickets. It's a sold-out event. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you do. You download the Game Time app. For my money, it's the best app on that secondary ticket marketplace for a ton of reasons. But one of the reasons I want you to check it out for is this awesome new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting your tickets to see your favorite teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Do it yourself. Pick an upcoming game on the app. Browse through the seats. I'm telling you right now, you'll love Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
TD, Tutty, taking it to the house. Whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets where you bet just $5. And get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/FT Ball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Dan Le Batard. We're gonna win. Stugotz. We're gonna win.
They're annoying.
What an old reference.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
The CEO of Fubo has a problem with David Sampson, and David Sampson and he will be on together at 10 o'clock Eastern to see what the issue is. He thinks David Sampson has gotten some things wrong, so we will have them talk to each other and figure out who's got what right. We are on in more places that we've ever been, on podcasts at any time you want us, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Sirius XM Channel 85. If you want to see all of the places that we are, see it. DraftKingsNetwork.com is where you go. We're on the network from 11 to 2 every day Eastern, and that's on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel that I like to make a Korean dish of some sort, Vizio Watch Free Plus, a whole bunch of others, and now on Peacock, NBC Sports Fast Channel, Monday through Friday, 12 to 3 Eastern. And somebody writes in, it's so interesting having listened to the pod all these years and never actually seeing what they look like. I've listened to the Dan Le Batard Show for years, and I've never actually watched it on YouTube. I knew Dan, but Roy and the rest of the crew, it shocked me when I saw their appearances. I think this happens to Stugotz more than anybody because he's had over the years such a big voice that people think he's big. I don't know when you guys all saw Stugotz for the first time, but when I saw him at a Starbucks after talking to him for the first time on the phone, he was half as big as I thought he was. I thought it was a cube of whatever it is that had been talking to me on the phone that had gotten stuck in a trash compactor on the way over. He sounds like a 300-pound man, does he not? If you're listening to him for years, or he did. First of all, Mike can speak to this because Mike's losing his voice now today. His voice has gone to shit. It's aged in a way that's obvious. Mike, you're doing the oral history on this. That one of the great self-destructions of Stugotz that has been amazing to watch is the big talent that you have is you've got a great radio voice. It's a very strong voice, and you've poisoned it over the years.
No one sounds more different than you. That's a mighty fine glass house.
My voice sounds very young earlier.
Yeah, and going through all the old clips, you sound younger, fitter, happier.
I was all those things.
Although I think you're fitter now. Or at least as fit. We were looking at old pictures of you looking like a communist, and there was one that
a lot of them, by the way.
I guess that was
internet.
before the turmeric supplements.
I will tell you that when I look back at photographs of what was happening to me around my brother for a year, like whatever was physically happening to me, even though my diet hadn't changed at all, I am mortified because I had no knowledge of how just physically swollen I had gotten. It wasn't. I mean, I look back at photos and am legitimately disgusted that I couldn't see back then how unhealthy I obviously looked because I had to be pushing 300 pounds.
That's me during the Randy Shannon years. I don't recognize that person.
Al Golden added some weight to you too, didn't he? Didn't Al Golden, was it just Randy Shannon? I saw, how about this one? I think it was CBS Sports. Is saying Cam Ward right now would be the second overall pick in the next draft.
This is ridiculous.
First quarterback taken, second overall pick, according to CBS Sports.
Behind Hunter? Is it Travis Hunter? I'm assuming.
No. Quarterback Shador probably is the quarterback there. It's a little absurd that he's improved his draft stock all that much. I'm old enough to remember when Brad Kaya was a top 15 pick and Tyler Van Dyke was going in the first round. So let's pump the brakes.
They have him as the first quarterback, number 2 overall to the Carolina Panthers because Bryce Young, we can call it, right?
Yes.
We can call it. I was doing that last year, and you guys told me not to do that last year. Now you can call it?
It's crazy. The dude with average height, average size, average arm is below average in the NFL. I think the shocker is like how stacked that Alabama team was around him that made him look so much better, made him actually look like a pro prospect because I don't given his skill set, I don't understand how that guy goes through the evaluation process and everyone's like, yeah, that's the number 1.
If the Panthers call right now and if you're Las Vegas, I want Minshew. Are you doing that deal? Minshew. Would you rather have Minshew than Bryce Young?
It's a weird way to take this.
Really weird that you would decide that you now want to give Minshew yet another team.
I'm trying to prove a point on like the level of quarterback that we would.
That he's better than Bryce.
I'm just saying,
he's clearly better.
I think I'd rather have Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, clearly.
And that's crazy. We're saying that about a first overall pick.
Look, Bryce Young. This is what happened there, and I don't know how this is something that I can say quiet as it's kept, given the analysis that sports gets and the analysis that the position gets. But the evaluation of quarterbacks stinks, and Bryce Young ends up being what Ken Dorsey was when he was surrounded by 50 first-rounders, but Ken Dorsey went in the late rounds because he was not good enough. Bryce Young, with whatever it is that Nick Saban was doing to help what was happening around Bryce Young, I have seen very few quarterbacks who aren't Doug Flutie, where I'm watching, I'm like, that dude's not big enough. Like one of the things that people are always shocked by is standing next to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. On the field, they're surrounded by other giants, so they don't look as big as they are. They're big people. They're bigger than I am. I'm the physically biggest person we've got here, and they're both like when I stand, it's not like standing next to John Runyon where I end up feeling like I'm a toddler, but Brady and Manning are big people. I'm watching Bryce Young, and I'm like, is that person Tyreek Hill's size, but not as physically strong as Tyreek Hill?
I think the era of the little quarterback is over. I'm here to officially call that with the passing of the Bryce Young situation and saying he's not it. I think the little quarterback era is over. We look across the field, and Kyler Murray, even though dynamic, missing wide open guys, streaking down the field, and then doubling down, saying it's not my job to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. Like, it's a lot of weird stuff with that.
Did you see the stat, though, that Marvin Harrison's like super slow? And that's
I did.
Shocking.
He looks really slow on.
He was like 16 miles per hour clocked in, which is really slow for a wide receiver.
Bo Nix was 20 miles an hour.
That's crazy, considering like the book on him, given his nickname in college. Like, he never really looked slow. That was crazy.
I think big quarterbacks are back, Dano.
I think big quarterbacks are always going to be there, and small quarterbacks too. But you got to have something special to make up for those deficiencies. And he doesn't have a big arm. No. He's not super strong. Yeah, you can be small, but he's not fast. He's not an athletic quarterback. There's just nothing that you would chart with his physical gifts that you would say this is an above average physical gift. To play that position, you can't be doing that undersized.
He does have the quarterback whisperer in his side, though, that would help. Obviously, Baker, better arm, I think better overall talent than Bryce Young. But Dave Canales has the wherewithal to maybe fix a smaller quarterback and put him in a different situation.
Does he have the wherewithal? Is that what he has? I don't think he has the wherewithal. Is the wherewithal what he has?
I think he has a wherewithal. You did a good job with Baker, but Baker seems to be doing fine right now. It's just Carolina's at a point where I think we can all agree nothing's going to ever work out for them at this point in time.
Circling back on that mock draft we were talking about, Dan, that had Cam Ward number 2 overall, it was from one of the analysts on CBS Sports. He had 5 quarterbacks going in the first round, none of which were named Shedeur Sanders. So we might want to take that specific mock with a grain of salt.
I don't want to take it with a grain of salt.
Sugar?
I'd like it saltless. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Put it on the poll, Juju. Can we all agree that the Carolina Panthers are never going to get anything right?
Maybe not wherewithal, by the way.
On the Cam Ward
does Canales have the wherewithal?
He doesn't have the wherewithal.
He does now.
Look, this is what happened to Tone. It's okay that it happened, but he was looking for a word, and that wasn't the one. Like, it's fine. We could have ignored it.
Amen, brother. It happens.
I know it does happen. It happens to all of us. But I don't know why it is. You know, Dave Canales is getting up in the morning. Okay, let's just make this ostensibly. Tony, you need to do some learning about something around here, which is that your words matter and they might be heard by people. So let's just say Dave Canales is leaving the house and he's feeling bad about an argument he's had with his wife, and he's getting in his car and he loves our podcast, and now he's saying, "Why is this person wondering whether I have the wherewithal to do my job?" And why is he questioning? Why is he doubting whether I have?
He was supporting. You were doubting.
I was supporting Dave.
You were saying you think he has the wherewithal, but before that, he was never questioning whether the wherewithal was something that he did not have.
I think you said, quote, "I don't think he has the wherewithal."
Wow.
Well, because I don't think wherewithal was the word that he was looking for, and then I'm not going to take any accountability on this. I seized on that, and now I've said something I didn't mean to hurt Dave Canales because one of my
Big fan of our
producers here
show.
hasn't supported me the way that I needed to be supported there. Yeah. It sounded to me like he was questioning whether Dave Canales had the wherewithal, and I just didn't think that's what we should be doing with our pregame show.
You think Shannon Sharpe did that on purpose?
It's so good.
I think he did it on purpose.
No, well, the hack thing. No, this is how I think it happened. And you tell me if I have this wrong. And I should say on the front end, somebody should check in with Michelle to make sure she's good with everything that happened here, because Shannon and Ocho got to the jokes last night, but not after initially Shannon was scared that he had done something that might have gotten him in trouble with Disney. Paul Pierce was gone on something. Disney's image matters, and I saw fear in immediately claiming I was hacked. And then what I saw afterward is like, oh, he talked to people and they were okay with it. And what I wanted to know is, God, I just wanted to know what those conversations were, right? Like, first of all, the volume. That's where he works. Colin Cowherd picking up the phone and having to have a conversation about, like, yeah, hey, Shannon, is he telling them that it's hacked? Is the initial move hacked when you're scared when you're going immediately to hacked? Are you not? You're not being playful with that immediately.
No, but then hacked invites all sorts of questions. All right, so it was hacked, but who was that? Are you denying that was you on your account? So everyone goes to it, and it's almost like socially accepted to say, like, okay, maybe you weren't. That's the go-to there. Initially, I thought the pivot after that was going to be, oh, this was an ad, because when he started teasing, Club Shay Shay, there was an advertiser, or appeared to be an advertiser on the screen. I'm like, you got me. This is genius.
I wish it. First of all, it's good for business. It's good for everybody's business. If you can get past the fear, which is what ESPN is trying to do by welcoming into the tent all of the personalities who now change the rules on what controversies look like, because the athletes have kicked in the door. And McAfee is drinking in Ireland, and Shannon just improved his brand yet more in every way. And I wish the initial response had been to have fun with it, or to advertise with it, or to do creative with it. But I understand why someone who has worked that hard to get where he's gotten, why the initial reaction would be fear, because you do not want to embarrass your corporate partners in ways that threaten a value he's created that wasn't there a few years ago for him. So I understand wanting to protect that, and I understand more than most what it feels like to fear jeopardizing an economy that you've created around you. The other parts of the controversy, I have no understanding of.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever made anyone that happy.
Not even close.
Like genuinely that happy, because there was a real sincerity that came across those speakers.
Yeah. And so one of the reasons that I feel, daily around here, Mike just said, you sounded so much happier when we were going through our oral history stuff. When's that coming out, by the way?
The first episode will drop next Friday.
All right. So, and that'll be fun for...
A couple surprises in there, too, that I think... I'm purposefully not letting you and Stugotz listen to the first edit. I want you to be surprised with some of the voices that you'll hear on this.
I'm looking forward to all of that.
Hey, y'all, it's Mike, and as you know, it is football season, the all-consuming football season. You live it, you breathe it, and you want to watch it as much as possible, both on your TV, but also sometimes you want to be a part of that atmosphere. But guess what? You don't have tickets. It's a sold-out event. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you do. You download the Game Time app. For my money, it's the best app on that secondary ticket marketplace for a ton of reasons. But one of the reasons I want you to check it out for is this awesome new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting your tickets to see your favorite teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Do it yourself. Pick an upcoming game on the app. Browse through the seats. I'm telling you right now, you'll love Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB de CV. Copyright 2024. Próximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.